So the conversation that gave rise to the whole effort was after years and years of looking at what efforts had done in terms of attaining the water quality criteria, that while there was improvement and things were going in the right direction, it was happening much more slowly than anyone expected or was acceptable to any of us.
We knew that the Bay wasn't showing the signs of improvement that we want. So that drove the discussion of, well, what do we need to do about that?
And that's a pretty brutal conversation, to look the data square in the face and saying, what we're doing isn't getting the results we want or we need. We think we can do better. How are we going to uncover that?
The CESAR report recognizes the successes that we've had in making the Bay a better habitat, less polluted, but it also offers solutions to why we haven't attained the exact goals of the TMDL, and also what we can do about that to change what we're doing to make the Bay an even better place.
The conversation really revolved around the fact that there was a disconnect between what the models were saying we were achieving in the Bay and what the monitoring data were telling us.
It was looking from management actions in the watershed all the way through the estuary to the living resource response.
Achieving nutrient reduction goals for the Bay is proven difficult. Runoff from agriculture on urban lands are now the single largest contributor of nutrients to the Bay, but existing programs are unlikely to produce the scale of reductions needed. The report offers a number of options to improve that situation.
I think too often we get focused on effort and how much effort people put into something, how many BMPs are put on the landscape, how much effort we're putting in, but effort doesn't equal outcomes. And I think we need to keep focus on achieving outcomes.
The report really emphasizes the linkage between water quality and living resources, and that you can have good water quality, but that doesn't guarantee habitat improvements and that living resources will improve.
So we have to make some choices about where we focus our investments to have the best impact for living resources.
So the structure of the TMDL was very much focused on water quality, but that creates opportunity for the organisms. There's no guarantee you're going to get more organisms. You have to create the opportunity. But our idea in this CESAR report and the living resources document, part of it, was we can actually do the analysis to see if those opportunities are actually being fulfilled.
The finding that gives me the most hope is that for the first time it's been made clear and people have accepted the fact that the living resource goals that we have been disconnected from the water quality programs that we have been implementing.
I think that the findings that give me the most hope are that the Bay hasn't gotten worse. But given that the population in the watershed and the pressure on the ecosystem has gotten so much more intense over the past 40 years, I think it's amazing that we've made progress at all, to be honest.
One of the things that we ended up emphasizing that maybe I didn't expect that we would emphasize was this focus on the transition zone between the land and the water, and that's connection to the shallow water habitats of the estuary.
We don't necessarily have to rely on meeting the goals in the deep channel for dissolved oxygen in order to improve the system. That in fact, it's probably just as important that we focus on shallow water habitat. That's closer to where people are, that's where a lot of the living resources are, and that we may be able to achieve a lot more if we adjust some of our expectations to focus on the things that we know are going to be most important.
But we have a good idea of, where the pollutants are originating from, how they're transported through the system into the estuary. So I think, that gives me hope that we understand some of the major problems. It also gives me hope that we have a very talented team in the Chesapeake Bay program to address these questions and challenges.
I think that the effort that we did through CSER was uniquely a STAC process because we needed scientists from universities in the watershed, scientists from universities on the estuary, scientists from different disciplines, from different walks of life, from these different cultures of fisheries and estuaries and watershed to work collaboratively together. So I think STAC was uniquely poised to do this kind of analysis. I don't know any other organization that could do that.
Perhaps what was unique about STAC's ability to do a report like this is that it's an independent entity, and it's an entity that benefits from having a wide range of different people involved, you know, spanning the spectrum from academics to those people working for agencies and those people that are working on the policy front. So that collection of individuals, I think, made this report uniquely possible from STAC.
I personally took away from the CSER report that there's a lot of work that's been done, and there's a lot of smart people working on Bay issues. The summary and conclusions, to me, was just fabulous in terms of pointing a new way to look at things.
CSER proves to me that we can use science to make better management decisions.